Lisa. How are
Hi,
you?
good. How are you?
Good. Can you tell us who your angel is?
My angel is Vinny.
And can you
Yeah,
tell us who Vinny was?
yeah, Vinny. He was my second, so that makes him my baby. He was my biggest pain in the ass, to be honest. He was, but in a good way. It had to be in a good way. He was very eclectic. Like definitely, Vinny's an old soul. He's definitely an old soul. Like he was born in 1990, but probably should have been back in the 70s. The way he dressed, the way he presented himself, the music that he listened to, he just fit there. And he didn't care what anybody thought. He would wear the kookiest, craziest things. For the longest time, we had a little bit of a problem with him because he insisted upon having dreadlocks. And Italian boys with thick hair probably shouldn't have dreadlocks, but he carried it. you know, he was able to carry it. And to look presentable when we went someplace, he would put them up so you wouldn't really see how bad it looked. But he was just he was very kind and gentle and super, super sensitive. Super, super sensitive. He was sensitive to other people's emotions, which kind of like he kind of carried that with him. And he was a good friend to a lot of people, and he was very, very good to everybody. He could talk to a 90-year-old man and then lay on the floor and play with a 3-year-old in the same hour. And he was comfortable in both spots with them, and they were comfortable with him. And he had a very, very good heart. Like he definitely liked to take care of people.
Can you show us a picture of Vinny?
Oh yeah, well, and he was also very proud of his perfect eyebrows. So that was his claim to fame, other than playing the guitar. His claim to fame was his perfect eyebrows.
I know Vinny was very talented with his music. Can you tell us about his music?
Yeah, he my husband would listen to like, one of the big things. Frank was a big music guy, so he not that he played or anything, but dinner was always the sounds of the 70s and all the old stuff, the old Italian music. And so he would listen. That's what he grew up with, and he just had an ear for it. And he was the kind of musician that no matter what he picked up, he could play. And he said he wanted to play the guitar. He got a guitar and he played the guitar. He wanted to try the harmonica. He was able to play the harmonica. And he self-taught. And he taught himself. And he would do those things. And then in school, he played classical bass. So for somebody who had anxiety and problems with open fields, and that's why me being in a group that says looking up, he was always afraid of the open space, so he could never look up. So this is kind of like a little joke, you know, because he was always afraid to look up because he felt like he was falling up. That was his big thing. But he would get on stage and I never understood, you're so nervous and anxious, but yet you could get on stage and play in front of 300 people and it never bothered you. But that's where he was comfortable. And when he got his first real big boy guitar, he got his Les Paul, he slept with it for 2 days. He was like 8 years old and he slept with it for 2 days. So that was
That's
it. Whatever
beautiful.
he wanted to do, he did well.
Thank you. That's beautiful. How has the Beating Hearts helped you on your journey so far?
Um, I come from a long history of taking care of other people, from even from being young. It was always kind of like my job. So something would go wrong and I would step in and I would take control and take care of it. So I have very great support. I can't complain about any of the support that I have with my family and everybody, but I always worry about how me being upset is going to affect them. So I would hold back and I would just suck it up and take control of managing their emotions. So with the beating hearts, this is the first place that I don't have to worry about how I feel. And I don't have to worry about, not that I don't want to take care of anybody. I'll listen to everybody and I love listening to people's stories and being there to help with your stories and, be part of all of that. But I also feel like I can let myself go and be taken care of, which is a very hard thing for me to give up that control. So it definitely has helped me. get past that.
Now we've been together. We went to we did a craft fair for the Beating Heart.
Yes, we
We
did.
weren't welcomed
We
with
weren't
open
welcome.
arms as
We were
much
not.
as we would have loved to been. Actually, Lori was supposed to come that day. It was her birthday weekend, and we told her, don't come because
Don't come.
they're not
We
very,
didn't do the second day.
but we did meet some people who were very
Yes.
open to us.
I think we were there for two people in particular. That one woman who had lost her daughter years ago and said that it was 5 years and she didn't even get out of bed. And she saw the beads glistening. She was dressed, it was the Longwood Fair. So they were dressed in the century clothing. And she was in a group that doing an reenactment. She was all the way across the field and she saw the beads glistening. And that drew her to us. And she just, we were there for her that day. She had a good connection with Lee that day. And then there was another young girl who was sober and had a baby and was trying to keep her life together. And it meant a lot for her too. So I think that's our purpose for that day.
I think so. And it meant a lot. And we got to spend the whole day together, which was.
Yeah, it was fun.
Was
For that part of it was.
That part of it was fun that we got
was
to spend
fun.
the day together. Yeah. That was
watching Mary Ann work her stick was really good too.
Yes,
She had
yes.
her whole speech down. She was great.
She did. And even though people didn't want to hear what we were there for and were upset why we were there, Mary persevered right through it.
And somebody gave her $5 to just stop talking.
Yes. Somebody gave her money to stop talking that day.
Just to stop
they
talking.
They didn't want to hear it anymore.
Yeah.
But she kept going.
Oh, and then didn't they put us right next to a very religious group, right?
Yes, that was handing out Bibles.
Yes, they were handing out Bibles.
Bibles, yes. They were right next to us.
Yeah. So they didn't like us either.
But we have a purpose, and we're here for a reason, to tell our stories and to speak our children's name. And
we did.
And we did meet those two people. And that one woman we did meet, she was really down on herself, and I think she really needed us. And the young girl that we were able to tell, you can do this. She had a baby and you can start again. You can get a fresh start. You have it in you. And that meant a lot. That did mean a lot. And that will stay with us forever. On March 12th, National Look Up Day, when you look up, what do you want us to know?
I think we look up and know that you can breathe. You can sing again. You can listen to music and not fall apart. And just listen to listen. Just listen, look and listen. Look and listen. There's so many things around you that's speaking to you that you don't even hear. Look and listen.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.